Barbara, and I'm here again. So today I decided to talk about, because we are in the month of February, and I think, at least for me, I usually associate February with the month of love. And so, because like 14 February 14th, here it's like same Valentine's Day. For my country and my culture, we call it El Día del Amor y la Amistad, which would be like the day of love and friendship. That's basically what it means. um but I think, like, I just kind of started to think of, like, how can I show love this month? And like, how can I was just thinking about love in general. And so I decided to, like, oh, I kind of want to talk about that maybe in my next video. And specifically, I wanted to talk about self-love, like love that you have for yourself, for ourselves. And so just gonna talk about ways that I take care of myself and that I love myself. I show self-love to me, to Barbara, because I think it's really important that all of us try to love ourselves. I think it's really important. Like, a lot of people say all the time, you should love yourself. Like, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. And it's like, how do I do that? What does that mean? And I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about the ways that I do it and that work for me. That doesn't mean that this works for everyone, or everyone does this, or everyone should do this. These are just things that work for me and I like doing. And yep, let's get started. So actually, before we get started on those things, I actually wanted to say that I personally feel like when I say love yourself, I think that also includes, like, you should get to know yourself first. I think this is something that I always say. Like, it's so easy to say, no, you should love yourself, just go and do it. But it's like, how do you do that? And like, how can you love something you don't, or someone you don't know? Like, it's, unless you are like a mother, and then like, mothers tend to describe their love for the child like, I don't know them yet, but I love them. I guess it's kind of, that's different. But like, when you're talking about yourself, how can you really say you love yourself, or you love you, if you don't really know you? Like, what do you like about yourself? What do you love about yourself? I think those are questions that you should do. And yeah, today I decided to talk about, because we are in the month of February, and I think, at least for me, I usually associate February with the month of love. So I think, like, for sure, something that you should do first, it's get to know you. And that's actually like my first point. A way that I show self-love is that I spend quality time with myself. And this can mean so many things for so many different people. Like, quality time can mean just like watching TV with you, and then laughing, and then be like, yes, Barbara, or blah blah blah, you person, this, whatever. Like, I do that. But like, spending quality time, like, talk with yourself. I talk with myself a lot, like a lot. And so, like, I ask questions. I say, so, like, if I were to choose between this and that, what should I choose? Or like, stuff like that. I don't know. I think this just means different things for different people, but for sure, like, spend quality time with yourself so you can get to know you, and you can get to know, like, the person that you are, the person that you want to be. And that self-love can be started, like, when you, like, let's just think about the couple love. Like, when they are in a relationship, they started first getting to know each other to see if they were compatible, if they like the same things, if they have similar values. And that's when they start, like, loving each other, and blah 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 blah. It's kind of the same for you. Like, you should get into a relationship with you. You should get to know you, go on a date with you, spend quality time with you. So I think that's kind of like what I like doing personally. Like, I literally just go and take a walk with myself, and I start, like, maybe I don't do it out loud, but in my head I'm just thinking, and I'm answering questions. Or even when I'm watching TV, I just react out loud, and I'm like, oh my god, this girl, what did she do that? Oh my god. And stuff like that kind of helped me to understand me better and just get to know me better. So another thing that I do to take care of myself and just to show self-love, it's take a day off. For me, Saturdays are my day off. I don't do anything. Like, if I do something, it probably would be like going on like somewhere with my parents or go to my aunt's house, or I don't know, if I decide to do homework, it probably would take only 30 minutes from my day. Like, I literally tell me, like, if maybe I have just so many things and I should probably get something done, I just tell, okay, let's have 30 minutes or 1 hour on Saturday, and that's all I'm gonna do for work and nothing else. Because for me, Saturdays are my day off, and like the day that I decide to do nothing. And like, if I decide to do something productive or not, it's my decision. Like, I don't want it to be like I have to do something because I have to be productive. Like, no. So that's kind of like my day off, and that's kind of a way I take care of myself. If you don't have like a completely full day that you can be Barbara, like, I cannot just take a day off. Like, that's not. At least take like 1 hour, or I mean, I think 1 hour it's okay, but if you can take more time, that would be better. But like, take 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever, of one day. Let's say on Fridays, for example, like you end work or you end school at 3, at 2, something like that. Then take the rest of the Friday and do nothing with like nothing. Like, don't do homework, don't do anything. Just like decide to watch TV, watch Netflix, watch, I don't know, whatever you do, like what you like doing with your own time. But just decide to do something that doesn't have to do with school or work or being productive. So yeah, that's a way I do it. Yeah. Another thing I do is affirmations. So in case you don't know what an affirmation is, at least for me, an affirmation, it's basically self-talk, and specifically a positive self-talk. When you affirm something, you're basically saying that this is a fact, that this is true, and this is real in your life, in someone's life, or whatever. You're basically saying it's staying. This is like that. This is it. And affirmations can also be negative. So specifically, I like doing positive affirmations to myself. And so a way to do this, it's like I, for example, like, imposter syndrome, it's real. So I remember, like, a lot of times I'll be like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, oh my god, that looks so hard. What if I can do it? I don't have the talent, I don't have the skills, and stuff like that. And that right there is an affirmation, but that's a negative affirmation because I'm doing something kind of against me. Like, I'm saying that I am not capable and I'm not worth it. But like, a way I do it, like, I contrast it, like, I do something against that thought, is I say a positive affirmation. And so instead of saying I can't do it or I am not capable, I will say, like, I trust myself that I am gonna take good decisions for myself. So you are staying, you're affirming, this is this way, I am capable. Just that right there, like, I am capable, that's an affirmation, a positive affirmation. And so I always do that, especially in the morning when I wake up. I usually have like a journal. I have a grateful journal, and then I just have my journal. And in my journal, I tend to put affirmations for the day, and I say, I am capable, or today it's gonna be a great day. I love myself. You know, those kind of things. I try to say at least 3 per day. I try to change them too, just to make sure that I feel like I have like different points in my life that I can touch with my affirmations. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, but I do try to do 3 at least. And yeah, that's kind of like something that I do, and I for sure recommend it. I think affirmations are so important because if you notice, a lot of the self-talk we do, it's negative, and we a lot of times just like treat ourselves not respectfully. And so I think like self-talk, a positive self-talk with affirmations, it's just really important because it changes your subconscious and the way your subconscious thinks about you. So eventually you change the way you think about yourself because your subconscious, it's changing. So it's kind of like you are reprogramming yourself. So yeah. Another thing I take care of myself is that I don't judge me or go hard on myself when I make mistakes or things don't turn out the way I wanted. A lot of times, I think this is life in general, like we decide, we have a plan and things don't turn out that way. But then after, like, what happens, the outcome, a lot of times is not on our control, but how we react to that, it's on our control. Like, that's our power. And I think it's just important, like, I try, and this is mainly from my perspective, like, when this kind of things happens, I try to know that being hard on myself and don't be like, Barbara, how do you make that decision? Like, what were you thinking? No, I just be like, okay, yes, I think probably something was going on in my mind, and that it, like, you can see it didn't work. So I am just gonna change my perspective and try to continue move on. Like, to be honest, what do I gain from talking that way to myself? Like, what do I gain from it? Like, nothing. Like, this already happened. There's nothing I can do. I cannot go back in past. So let's just continue, move on, learn from the experience, and just, life goes on. So and I think this is actually something I've been working for a while on myself, because in the past video I mentioned how, like, I'm grateful that I don't care about grades anymore. But in the past, like, I would be so hard on myself if I even got like 1 point off on a question because of whatever. Like, I would be like, Barbara, how could you thought about that? Like, what were you thinking, girl? Like, that wasn't that hard. Like, oh my god, why did he say that? That's not right. Like, oh my god, I make this mistake so dumbly. And it's like, girl, at the moment of the exam, that's what you thought was right. So it is okay. And if it's not right, it's not right. Whatever. Like, just move on. And also, like, another thing is, like, for being late. I think being late in, like, the time topic in general is really interesting. But that's kind of for another video. But if you think about time, like, a lot of times I would be hard on myself because I was late. Like, I was late for the class. It would even be just 1 minute. It would be like, it's supposed to start at 5 and I went there at 5:01, and I'll be like, Barbara, no, you're late. And it's like, we're late, so what are you gonna do about that? It's again like coming back to everything. Can you go back in time? No. Can you come back 1 minute ago? No. So if you're late, you're late. Like, whatever. So I think I decided to change that way of talking to myself, and also that goes along with, like, stop comparing to myself, because I think a lot of times when I be go hard on myself would be because I would be comparing myself to someone else, like, because of the way they look, or because of the way they talk, or because of the way of they present themselves. I'll be like, oh my god, they did it so well, why I cannot do it like that? And it's like, they are them, you are you, so why are you doing what we're doing here? And I think I'm really grateful that I know that now too, that I don't do that. Like, that's kind of way I show, and that's just kind of way I show self-love. Yes, don't be hard on myself, it's okay, it's okay. Cut it. Another way I take care of myself and I show self-love, it's actually I just wear I dress nicely and wear makeup. I think that might not be true for many people, and that's okay if that's not, you're like, I'm not vibing with that. I personally, it's not because of, like, the looks. It's not about, like, oh, being pretty or anything like that for me, because I personally actually don't really like wearing makeup either way. Like, I am kind of lazy with makeup, so I usually just wear, like, I don't know, mascara and then, like, a little bit of maybe base or something. And I'm using mask all the day, so why would I care about putting lips, like maybe a lip balm or something, but nothing else. But I think for me with makeup, it's more like a way of empowering myself in making decisions on how people see me. Like, for me, the idea of, like, I have the decision and I have the power to say, I am gonna wear this today, and I'm gonna this with my face today, and this is how I am deciding to portray myself to the world, have so much power, because I have the decision. Like, I don't know, making myself looks a certain way because I want it, because I want to be seen this way today, I think has a lot of power in me, or makes me feel really powerful, because it's my decision. Like, I'm not saying like you should be trying to be someone else, or like, no, like that's not what I'm trying to say. And hopefully you are understanding what I'm trying to say, because I don't know if I'm really explaining it in the right way. But it's more like, I decide today that I want to look like, I don't know, some type of way, and this is how I want to portray myself to the world today. And then the next day you want to portray yourself this other different way, and then the next day you want to portray yourself in a completely different way again. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's not about like, look at the specific, the standardized way of doing makeup and the standardized way of doing, like, dressing yourself. Like, no, I'm talking about just dressing the way you want it, because you want it, because you feel it, because you know that this is the way you want to show yourself to the world. And for me, that is really empowering, and like that shows that I respect myself, and I show self-love. Like, I just making myself feel comfortable and feel more confident. I think it's really important for me. Another way I take care of myself, okay, no. Another way I show self-love, or I love myself, it's by doing skincare. For me, like, taking care of my skin means that I'm taking care of myself. Like, that's a way I take care of myself, and I show self-respect and self-love, because I care about me. I care about my skin, not just because of aesthetics reasons or for physical appearance or anything. It's more like, this is the skin, this is my skin, this is like for being healthy for the future. Like, in the future my skin is gonna start like losing certain things, and like, if I start taking care of it right now, I know it's gonna be in a better condition in the future, not just because of the physical appearance, as I said, but also because of it's healthy for my skin. It also makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. I feel confident. I feel good with my skin. I feel good with myself when I take care of myself. So it's just like, kind of like, I personally do it for that reason. Yes, it is a plus that I feel more like beautiful personally when I have like a good skin, like a good health in my skin. But I think personally, at least for me, it's not the main reason. But I think it's a way that I show self-love, because I show respect for my skin and the body I have and everything. And that goes along with exercising. I try to exercise. I don't do it that frequently as I would like to, but I'd like to at least move my body. And I personally really that this I don't do this with the intention of like losing weight or anything, but it's just to move my body, just to keep it moving, to feel like the energy, to get things around. And yeah, I think that I care about this body because I know myself. I and my soul, like what you see right here, this is just like the, I don't know, like a box in which my soul is. So my real self doesn't look like this. My real self doesn't really have like a physical thing, you know. But because in this life, I happen to be in this body, I want to take care of it, and I'm showing self-love that way. And the last way I show self-love, actually there's many other ways that I do this, but I just feel like this video is just gonna continue going and 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 going. And so I don't want to just extend myself too much. But the last thing that I'm gonna mention, that in ways I love myself, it's by saying no. This is something that I had to learn the hard way, and something that I actually am still working on. And for sure, like, my journey with this has been taking so long. I actually remember the first time that I decided to do something like that, that was when I was in high school, but like in my country. I was in 4th year, that's how we call it. I think here's like, what is it, like 10th grade, 11th grade? No, I think it's 10th grade. Yeah, 10th grade here. And that I decided to be like, I don't want to do that. So I said no. And that felt good. That felt so good. And so I continue doing it. And yeah, sometimes I do say yes when I don't want to say it. So for sure, I still need to work on it. But I think it's so again, it kind of comes back to like this my decision. Like it just makes me feel really empowered when I have the power to say no, like I don't want to do it. I just, and like also at the beginning I feel like I try to come up with excuses to say no. I think now I say no, and like that's it. Like if they ask me for an excuse on something, I will say like, well, I just don't feel like it. I just have other things to do, so I'm sorry, I don't I don't want to do it. But usually I initially would just say like no, sorry, unfortunately I cannot help you with that. And then just continue, because it's not like you are being mean or you are not kind or whatever, but like you should be taking care of yourself first. And like if you really can do it, like why would you say yes? Like you should spend your time with yourself, and you should spend time in general doing things that you enjoy. Like you should do more of the things that you enjoy. And I also, like, I don't remember where I read this. I wish I knew, but I cannot remember. Maybe I hear it, I don't know, but it came to mind. Like every time I look in the mirror, I usually in the morning I just tell myself like, if this was my last day, would I be doing what I'm doing today? And if my answer is no, then I would like rethink of like my life decisions, my life choices, because it's like for real, like we don't really know. Like I am saying that in the mirror as a way of like making sure that I'm doing things that I enjoy and making sure that I'm doing things that I want to do, but it could really be my last day. So it's like just a way to put me on track. And like death, it's a true thing and it happens, and it's gonna happen to all of us because that's just part of the cycle. Like, you know, you're born and there's this like this journey called life, and then you die. And it's not like you really die, it's more like this body dies, this person right here dies. Your soul is still alive and it's gonna continue in its journey. But yeah, just thinking about that, like yeah, that's real and that happens, makes me feel like I should be doing the things that I enjoy and I should do less of the things I don't want to do. And that helps me to say no when I don't want to. But yeah. Well, that was a little longer than I expected. Hopefully it's not that long after I did this video, but thank you so much for watching if you stay until the end. I did this videos personally for myself and kind of like to reflect my ideas, and I hope that whatever I say in these videos like helps someone else, or someone can relate to what I say. And I just hope yeah, I just reach someone when they need it, and they can help in some type of way. But thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all have a really beautiful, wonderful, and incredible day. I'm just sending all my beautiful energies and my just a lot of energy to all of you, good positive vibes. And yeah, until next video.